So, some things have happened on NCIS, and today we're gonna talk about them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the recap and review of episodes 12, 13, 14, and 15 of NCIS Season 13. So, Sister City will probably be my shortest review, and basically, I liked it. Like I've said, I don't necessarily know that much about NCIS New Orleans, but I like the characters. I can see why people watch it. And I did think it had like a plot that was very interesting, and it involved pretty much all the characters, so 2 thumbs up. And 1 washer noise. So in Deja Vu, we see the return of the ever-pleasant man that McGee went to MIT with and then found out his passion was for trash. Once again, he's somewhat central to the storyline because he discovers a dead body. So this time around, he reveals to DiNozzo that McGee was a tap dancer in college and tapped his way into the heart of many a theater girl, mine included. But on an even more central to the episode level was the fact that it's told through Bishop's flashback. In a way, kind of similar to how McGee wrote the letter to his dad. The episode is all about how they discover this sex ring that Bishop thought she took care of with a different team many years ago, but it's still around, so she kind of has to get her team back together, and it starts falling apart, and she's all like, "It's cold out today." It's something we've seen a lot of the characters go through, the whole like, "I don't think I can do this anymore," or I don't know how much longer I can make it in this lifestyle. And it's just kind of her reflecting on that. A lot of it is very Bishop-centric, but it's also a really good episode for Jimmy because Jimmy Palmer, God bless his soul, is so funny and so heartbreaking at the same episode span. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but Jimmy has been really stepping up his game this whole season. I feel like he's been really on top of things, and he's just been making really good calls and discoveries. I mean, he's still being like... That's an adjective. He's still funny, but he also brought up the fact that since he has a daughter now, he's much more sensitive to these cases that involve young girls and how it really scares him. And I think that's such a good thing to bring up. I think Jimmy's just such a nice, well-rounded character. I'll applaud him for that. I don't know if Jimmy Palmer has much to do with how his being is written, but nonetheless. Decompressed is pretty much what I think of when I think of like a mid-season NCIS episode. Like, this is your typical episode that would fall somewhere between episode 13 and episode like 18 in a given season. It's not that those episodes are bad or forgettable or anything, but much like Tony, they have a type. But we'll talk about that with some upcoming episodes. So it's about this team of divers that are locked in a decompression chamber, and when they're in there, one of them dies. It's also Valentine's Day, so Abby, the beautiful, gothic, dark Valentine's Day goddess, Wiccan fairy, delivers lovely Valentine's Day treats to them at their desks. And then there's the obligatory, unfortunate relationship talk that I'm sure DiNozzo has to go through every holiday season. And Mickey's like, "Sometimes I think you prefer to be alone." And then once again, DiNozzo is forced to hide his deep, dark, emotional turmoil. So at first the guy's death is dismissed as being like a panic attack and him not adjusting well. But then they find out that one of his air hoses was tampered with, so it can only be one of the 3 other people in the room, so they figure out like a whodunit. So it turns out it's the woman in the chamber, and she's working with the lawyer that kept annoying Gibbs, so Gibbs gets to taunt them with cherry jello. It also throws in the term hangry, and I think I've said this a couple seasons ago. I like it sometimes when they throw in these like hit phrases because it dates it, but in a way that I don't hate. And then finally we get to react, and it's Seknav's daughter is kidnapped, and so they have to find her, and it turns into a competition of every agent going, "Well, when my daughter was kidnapped, but when my daughter was kidnapped, no, when my daughter was kidnapped." Everyone's daughter keeps just getting abducted for some reason. Seknav has a lot of like questioning her career versus her family, and it turns out her ex-husband's girlfriend was kind of in on it to get revenge on her, so that's a horrific family reunion. There's really great chemistry between McGee and this girl who was his first kiss that he knew from the base when he was younger. It's not even romantic chemistry, it's very nice, like, friendship chemistry. I really, really liked it a lot. They end up rescuing her and she's reunited with her family and gives us her. It's a very nice ending. So those were those 4 episodes. I really liked most of them and it established some important things. Gibbs cut his hair. Tony and Zoe broke up. McGee has a middle name. 3 important factors. So that was those reviews and I will see you guys next time.